Alright boys and girls, and welcome back to another building video. Is this an episode of Walking Dead? No. We're going ham with the Unreal cinematics, and I'm bringing you guys an absolutely banging base, starting off with a little 2x1 footprint that's turning into an absolute Chad monster. This one has got a nice wide gap shell, some great downward angles from up on roof, bedroom towers leading all the way up to the top of the base, giving you maximum respawns and defendability, and a lot of cool peaks too. This is definitely a simpler build, so you don't need a lot of crazy building knowledge to throw this one down, and it's going to guarantee you guys a successful wipe. If you're curious on the cost of this build, it's going to be after the tour. Let's dive into some of its other features. So we've got two externals on this base, and you can see I didn't actually even go for a compound in this one. You could do a super basic one if you want to, but I've just kept it so simple as this is more meant to be a quick kind of snowball base, or just something that is not too tough for anyone to put down with any amount of hours. It's a freehand bunker on the external though, so keep that in mind. You can swap it out with any kind of external you like, and that's how you disconnect. If you're using DLC skins, sometimes disconnecting's harder. You need to go from above, or to swap it to a normal metal. It's a little tip to keep in mind. If you like building and you're looking to improve, my Discord is a wonderful place to be. We've got multiple great builders, including me, to answer any questions that you may have. An extensive moderator team. And if it's my building style that you like, and you don't want your base layout to be visible on YouTube, then you can open a ticket and look into getting your own custom base design for your own personal use. Cheers lads, let's go on with the tour. Heading in though, we have 4 entrances into our wide gap shell. Wide gap shell comes with respawns, it comes with some turrets, great angles in and out, and spots for, of course, refineries and planter boxes. Good head glitches here that we can use, and the turrets are watching us as well, which is super handy. Honeycomb all the way around the base, and 2 entrances out of our shell. These single doors are extra storage, so you can throw lockers in here, or anything else that you may need, but there's plenty of space inside the main base too. Wrapping around, you can see this section makes a nice little airlock, giving us an option to head further up. Over on this one, we do have a door that leads into our main base, and of course we have that option to go up as well. So if we're going to head through the main core now, I'll show you how that looks. You can see that it's a strong core, a lot of doors to get to here, and an armored wall. Boys and girls, this is actually my room, and ask your mum because she might recognize it. And the latest addition to my setup is the FlexiSpot E7 Pro standing desk. Take pride in your setup, align your gaming gear along a selection of high quality, long-lasting desktops. Equipped with a strong and mobile frame capable of holding 160 kilograms. Make the switch to a moving desk and fix up that gamer posture, upgrade yourself and your setup all at once. Clever cable management, precise desk adjustment, and massive selection on color and style are too many reasons not to go cop one. The desk takes up minimal space to maximize your legroom, and FlexiSpot desks are simply faster, look better, and can be personalized by you. So head down to the description and check out flexispot.com to grab yourself a moving desk and help you stand up for once, you little rust addict. Second floor has got a lot of storage, some spots for some furnaces, and we have a jump up to the second floor from here too. We can also drop down to our core, and that's defended by a stair bunker, which is super handy, and that's how this one works. You just destroy the twig and you're safe to drop down. Heading through these doors, it'll take us into our standard 2x1 starter. So of course we're starting off with the super easy and common footprint that we all know how to throw down. From here you can throw it on any amount of storage, design this how you want, but you're going to want to leave this triangle here in twig. Upgrade a staircase, throw it on there, and that's going to seal up your bunker, and it's going to be really easy to turn this into a tanky base very early on into the build. We can jump up the third floor from here, and you can see we have some more storage and some boxes. But before we look at that, you can see there is some retake potential to this floor if we jump up to the single door. Through the loot room, we can retake the floor by either HVing or just spraying anyone who may be above. Super sneaky angle that we're not going to expect to see any players in, and if anybody's coming in from the top down, you're going to be able to utilize that super nice. As we jump up from these bedroom spots, you can see we get some more angles to retake our shooting floor. You can even open and close that door from there, and if you're to look through, it is a one-way, so if you go crossway with the retakes, it's going to create a one-way there, but you can still see around into that shooting floor pretty nice as well. Opening up the double doors does create an airlock too as we head through to this level. Great for expansion before you've gotten the actual shooting floor down. That airlock is going to be great to play off of. And then from here we can wrap through some more doors out into our shooting floor. Now the shooting floor is pretty simple. It comes with the wide gaps. There's 2 mobility chutes that lead up into the shooting floor, coming with some extra angles and a lot of respawn potential as well when we drop down these chutes. You can see as we head lower down, there's more boxes and there are more beds. You leave these areas stockpiled with loot and you're going to be guaranteed to have a good few respawns in an online raid. You can also store some kits here in the potential of an offline. Nice, quick, easy retake towers that go up from the base straight to shooting floor. Our shooting floor is filled with wide gaps and then head glitch patricos that are perfect for covering those further angles, and the downwards are definitely covered as well by those wide gaps. We have 4 jump ups onto roof, and each drop down from the roof has a nice little ankle biter there, so you can hold anyone coming in from that top down. Nice, good head glitches again, and the downward angles are just amazing on this particular footprint. Really like how this one comes through. You can see down into the shell, or you can see past that as well, anyone that may be hugging the base coming up close. Great crouch angles as well for the crouch sprayers, and some really good spots overall in that shooting floor. Up one of the 4 exits onto roof now, you can see there's a lot of good coverage here with the windows and such before we head out, and we've got 2 turrets up here to cover the entire roof, which is nice as well. Some great low crouch angles again, and some good spots to look out further away up here. Of course, you can retake the roof from any of these 4 jump ups as well, which is super handy, and these are one of our main angles here, looking downwards away from any raid bases straight to the front of the base. This is one of these common bedroom towers that you would see on your average clan base, and I've thrown it in here into a simple duo design. Comes with some retakes on the roof, some good angles here. You can either flip the embrasure around this way or the opposite way depending on where you'd like to peek. You can see it's good retakes on roof and a good bit of stability up here as well. Some great crow's nest bedrooms that you guys can use to retake the roof on your simple duo design. 2 of these, 1 on each side of the roof. They've got the turret, they've got the windmill, so you can rush these, get them down fast and get the electricity going. You can see the turrets even watching down here, so if anyone's trying to sneak their way up to roof, it's going to catch them off as well. Now, if you boys and girls are curious what this base costs, I'll go ahead and throw it up on screen for you all now. First of all, on screen is the total build cost. Second up is that build cost in box amounts to make it easier to visualize. And lastly is the total upkeep spread between 3 TCs, and the main TC is of course holding the majority of that upkeep. Now that you boys and girls got all the information, let's go ahead and break it down on how to build. So we're starting off with a standard 2x1 with a airlock, and we're going to double half wall on the right to the airlock side if we're utilizing the stair bunker. If you're on console, just do full walls because you're not going to get a stair bunker. TC is going to go in the back left corner over here, and we can wrap our airlock through once we're ready to move out of the starter phase, of course. And over here we need to do a deployable jump up, okay? It cannot be a triangle, or else your bunker is going to stay closed permanently. Dropping off the back, we have our jump up on the opposite side of our drop down, and it just wraps through over here. And with the garage doors, this is pretty much 2 walls to enter this part here, but don't worry about the missing combing on this side. It's technically got some combing on there. Then we'll just build up the second floor as I show here, with our drop downs, our jump ups, and some spots for loot in the middle. Adding some doors here to make sure you guys don't accidentally fill that in with walls, because we do utilize that triangle in the mobility chutes, so I'm just going to make sure nobody makes a mistake there. These are also going to be some little loot rooms here. You can fit some barrels there, or you can throw down some electric furnaces, anything else you might need. And we're just going to float the extra triangles for just now, even though there's nothing underneath, so that we can seal in the second floor. We have our retake, we have our jump up, and then we can seal everything off with floors. And we'll cap in the 2 sections as well. Let's frame those off as well so no one accidentally covers them up. And then we finish off the retake, and we finish off the roof exit, and that can get closed up with a door, and that should give us enough height to roof camp with for just now. And we'll start doing some compound and some wide gap stuff. Fill in the stuff underneath to make sure our core is a little bit stronger, and then we can honeycomb the rest of the base too with these triangles around the sides. We'll raise that up to the 2-level height for just now. No rush to get this combing down though. If you'd rather go straight to wide gaps, you can. Just keep in mind that those 4 triangles need to go down. Now we're going to go ahead and throw on 2-sided symmetry. Super basic build outs here though, so it's nothing too scary. 2 squares off the front and the back, and then we're going to come out here and do a short build out, just like so. And then we're going to do the 2 square wide gap method off of that build out. Break everything apart from the triangle I'm on, and we'll return in our wide gaps here. Just creating the exact same shape, but with a wide gap. Once you've done that, we're going to wrap the wide gaps through until we line up with the 2 squares that we just placed. And you'll see that that completes our footprint, finishes off the wide gap shell, and of course is going to give us a nice shooting floor up top too. Just wrapping all these triangles along. Keep in mind that these triangles are not all touching each other, so even if you were to add an external at this stage, you would still need to add in the walls, the half walls that I'm doing just now, to make sure all these triangles are touching. You've got to keep in mind that foundations that have their corners kind of placed into each other are not technically touching until they have those walls down. So that's why we're going to fill this section up first, and then we'll go around the back over here, and we'll do a short build out for our external. Super basic external here, but if you guys do want to go for a compound or something like that, let me know if that's something you would like to see. You can hop in the Discord and I can help with that. But we're just doing a super simple little snowball base here for you now. No compound needed. We're doing a super simple free-handed external here, but if you're not a big fan of the freehands and you can't seem to get them down, swap that out for 3 garage doors or something like that. Any other disconnectable that you're familiar with is going to work fine just here. But if you're doing the freehand and you want a little bit of help with that, again, hop on the cord and I can try and teach that out in more in depth. But that's our 2 externals down, looking nice, looking good. The whole shell is wrapped up. We'll go ahead and seal off this one last side as well. Get the frames down through here just to complete the wide gap shell, giving us our peaks, so we can use these early on, even without the embrasures. It's still going to let us do a little something. Now we can go ahead and work on this section in the middle that separates the 2 sections. Raise that up with some half floors. Got a spot for boxes underneath. Adding in these frames here to help cover our head, so we can utilize that peak in a more unfair advantage for us. And then we just separate it off just like so. It's going to wrap through, back in towards the main base, giving us a little heli peak here early on. But heli's pretty scary to take in a stone base these days, and that's if it doesn't run away. So it might not be the move. We'll finish off the 3rd floor now, and this is how we like to do it. We do the ramp loop room there so that our retake is even more concealed and hidden. And then you can see we have retakes again over towards the middle of the base, just like that. These are going to face through into our shooting floor level. You can honeycomb this triangle here. We don't use it for anything. And then we drop down into our chutes. You can see this is where we would come up from. Get a spot for boxes in there under the single door. Just like so. And then the mobility continues up from those sides. Over here we have a nice airlock to play off of early game. Just a standard double door, single door airlock, and that's going to give you a little something to do if anyone's coming up on roof before the base is built. And then it wraps through out to the shooting floor, just like so. Now to continue the mobility up, you can start over here, adding in a couple of windows, leave out the middle frame. We're going to have a triangle roof ramp coming off of that socket, and you're going to jump back up to this level here. And then you repeat that heli retake, and eventually we'll have one of the 3 tall kind of bedroom sections there. Put that off with the frames and the doors. 2-side symmetry is back on. Let's match the combing height up to this level, and now we're going to work on some frames coming up from the wide gap shell. We'll start here creating the spot for the turret with a frame in front, and then we use the half height taller frames to raise up, giving us a Patrico at that max height. The frame and the floor come off of here, and then of course you get that Patrico angle, which is super nice to have. It's a great head glitch up on shooting floor. And there we go. Off the breach peak we can just raise up like so, with the half walls on the closer side like this. Just like so. Raising up all our frames. On the 4 corners here, this is where our jump ups are to roof. In the center we have more Patricos again. And then I already did these 2 triangle sides as well, with the turret section and the Patrico at the top of those. then just add in all the floors as I do. And in the middle here we get another Patrico. The low wall down the middle to cover our head from different angles, and you raise frames higher up. Then on the 4 corner sections here, they just get wrapped in full walls, and that's where we're going to have some extra mobility to our roof. Add these ramps for crouch peeking, spam some frames throughout, and then I'll show you what to do on the corners of the base. So we're going to be facing our jump up side, that's where the window needs to go. This is not a choice, this is actually how it has to go. So make sure you're lining up that window with the external mobility, or else it's not going to quite come together on roof. It's important that that window is facing towards that little jump up there. So make sure we do that. Then the jump ups are super simple to build. You need that door frame facing in towards the middle, both facing each other. As I said, or else the roof is not going to come together. If you're having issues placing that, it's because the frame is stone. Stone frames just have issues with triangles. So upgrade it to metal and you'll get through that. You don't have any metal on you, upgrade it to one of the DLC stone. Or you can rotate it too. And you just seal up the roof just like this. Couple of low walls. Get that bedroom tower down. Spam it in windows with a door in the middle. And we can float a little ramp through the middle too. Seal this part off with some ramps. And there we go. Prefer to make this one armored just because it looks better. And then we can get some backwards roofs up here. Some potential turret spots since we didn't use all of our turrets. But the best spot for that turret is bang on in the middle of this tower. And we can throw a windmill on that. And once you've done that, that completes the base design. Hopefully you boys and girls have enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to leave me a like and drop me a comment down below. This base is an absolute banger and it's super simple to build too, so I really hope to see it out there on some servers. Remember to check out Flexi Spot, and I'll see you boys and girls in the next video. In a bit.